What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Russell Hent Show. I have the infamous Tommy Smokes in the house from Barstool. Tommy, I got to tell you, man, uh, my brother's a huge Barstool guy. He's a stoolie for sure. That's all he listens to.
Yep.
And I'm more into watching it on ESPN, instead of listening to it. And
Right.
I heard about it forever. But I just recently started watching it, and I got to say, man, you guys and gals over there got it going on. The scenes that you have, the things you have on YouTube, your boy Dave is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like it is legit. He is successful because of how hard he works, how hard he puts time in. And when I watch it to learn, to learn from things, from other people's success, I try to evaluate that and become just a little bit, just get a little bit of success from them. You move forward and you can keep moving forward and become even better. And in time, no telling where you'll be. And it shows right there, that dude there, man. Because I didn't know him that. All I know him was the pizza stuff.
Yeah, no, the pizza's it's become a huge part of it, but Barstool was, it was big before that. It started as a gambling newspaper, actually. In 2003 in Boston, he used to just go, subway station to subway station, corner to corner. He'd drive around handing out papers to people. And yeah, to see what it's become from a gambling newspaper in Boston to a global media entertainment company it's crazy. And yeah, his work ethic is nonstop.
Yeah, no, that's what it takes. And now me into YouTube and me into my podcast, it's a lot of work. It's a ton of work. But the way that I see that you're successful is you keep at it. You keep at it. The drive is super important. You have to love what you do already, first of all. Second of all, you have to have what it takes to keep moving forward, even the setbacks. There have times where I'm like, man, this is just too much. I'm not getting enough profit to be able to keep doing this. But, there's times to where that happens and you just have to move forward with anything that you try to succeed with, especially when it comes to business. So I just have to say, man, that I've been watching your stuff. I've been binge watching all you guys' stuff, and it's pretty impressive, the things that Barstool has accomplished.
No, I'm glad to have you on board. To me, to be able to collab, like I was telling my roommate before, as a Survivor fan, if you would have told me 11 years ago or whatever it was, that as I'm watching you find idols in Samoa, that Russell was going to be inviting me on his podcast, I wouldn't believe you. So I'm glad that we're able to join Barstool and Survivor and give the people some joint content.
Oh yeah, and right now we're going through so much, and I get sick of even talking about it. But we're going through so much, so where entertainment is a key at this point in time. Putting a smile on people's face, giving them something interesting they can listen to, and I think that's important. What's happening and what's going on, and I talk about everything. I want to talk about everything on this show. It's not only about Survivor. It's about life. It's about I have Libby Mondays, so where we talk about toxic relationships. Doesn't matter what it is. I might not get as in depth as your call her daddy girls. I might not get that in depth.
I don't think anybody gets that in depth.
I didn't even know that you can get that in depth, but they obviously do. Yeah, and they got a little feud going on with that too. We won't get into that but I'm watching all that stuff. It's super interesting to me. But yeah, so I got new shirts, and me wearing this shirt right here. You've seen me play, right, Tommy? You know my style. Mathematically, I was in season 19 there in season 40. So mathematically, I'm an old schooler, but I promote the new school, and that's hard. Who I think I really am is the one that created this right here. I'm the one that created the beginning of the new schoolers, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit right now. Do you see the divide between the old school and the new school players?
Yeah, so I would agree that it's, I mean, I think just because there's been 40 seasons, I don't think we have to divide it right down the middle because, a few years from after season 44, are we then going to say that that new school started at season 23? Like, I think we got to pick a point where we could say new school started. I would say season 19 started it. I think Tocantins probably the last old school feel. 19, you sort of started heavy with the new school. 20 becomes kind of a hybrid with heroes versus villains. And then everything since then, I think, has been new school. Yeah, I think it's definitely different. I think people are way more it's a lot more advantage driven, a lot more strategy driven with the new school players, more of like I feel like a general mindset where most people, I think, not counting your season, but since then have realized it's just a game, and I feel like they reward good gameplay at the end, whereas the first few seasons I think people took vote outs a lot more personally.
Right. Yeah, so they definitely took it personal. I think the old school is more of the social aspect of the game. That's where they take that serious, and they get their feelings hurt easier.
Right.
In my opinion. But they're also more loyal. They set up alliances. We've seen, when I set up my alliances and stuff like that, we've seen it in a lot of old school play where they get that team together and then they go forward with that team. Then we see players like Jeremy that he's like on his own, and he's leaving his alliance. He's
voting block away from whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
Do you hear me very choppy? Do you hear my mic is choppy? It sounds good to me. I don't know.
I'm hearing you pretty okay.
Yeah. Sounds fine to me. I need to fix this stuff. I don't know how to work this stuff in the back right here, man. These dials in the back, you know how to do that stuff?
No, I have no idea. I think sometimes the laptop audio works just as well, or I don't know what you're on, laptop or desktop or something, but I think sometimes the laptop works usually okay.
Yeah, it does. Probably work better than my mic at this point.
Yeah.
But anyway, so season 40. First of all, I've seen something released by CBS saying that they are airing. They've already picked up season 41 and 42, and they're airing it in the fall. It's like nothing's wrong. Like, they have it on their schedule right now to air in time.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, to me, I don't know what necessarily the holdup is, because I feel like it's pretty. Survivor is one thing. I mean, it's literally done on a remote island. Like, I think you just test everybody before you take off. You got, 18, 20 people, Jeff, the crew. Just make sure everybody is negative, isolate them for a few days, and it shouldn't be an issue, is sort of how I would think of it. You're not going to catch it in the middle of nowhere in, like, the South Pacific.
Yeah, I think that it's more when it comes to the islands. I don't think that Fiji is going to turn down. Their economy is so great because of the shows that they're doing out there.
Right.
It's just bringing it up. They're doing everything for these islands, and it's helping. So I don't know if Fiji would actually shut it down, because you have people coming from Australia, from Canada, all sides of the country in production, all around the world, coming to one little island. So I think that it would have. I don't know. It depends on how they would think if it would be safe. But like you said, that especially stuff like Big Brother, because I'm a do Big Brother, and they can be in the house. You think that they're gonna test every single person there? Production's only a few people that can come in and out. When you're dealing with Survivor, and the cameras are there in the house, but when you're dealing with Survivor, you have hundreds and hundreds of people in the crew that would change things. It's flying all around the world.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you got to think of how many people are behind the scenes. But so I know some people. I think Rob Cesternino has suggested. What do you think of possibly doing it in the Old West, doing it in Arizona? Right. Going. I think that would be cool, like an America thing. Because to me, I think at this point, I think early on, a lot of Survivor was. A lot of the draw was the location, right? You're at a different location each year. We're taking in China, we're taking in Africa, we're taking in Australia. But now, I mean, they're just at the same location over and over and over and over. I feel like it doesn't necessarily matter if they were just in America in the Old West. Like, I think and most people are watching more for the gameplay than the location at this point.
Well, you can do it in Alaska. You can do it in Hawaii. You couldn't do it, but you can do it in places like, and I keep saying Wyoming because in my mind it's like the old West. The
Right.
mountains, the dirt. So to me it wouldn't be no different than seeing it like in Tokyo or Gabon. Because when we
Right.
watched those seasons, it was like dirty, wasn't the beautiful beaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there were no. Was there even any water really those seasons? Like oceans and like
Even in China,
water.
I heard China was really nasty.
Yeah, China was dirty.
Nothing
Yeah,
against China or nothing.
I do miss I miss sort of that they would go to different locations. I mean, I feel like it has gotten monotonous, but I don't know. Me personally, I am someone that watches more just like for the gameplay, the strategy, the backstab, and then the location. But I think it could be cool. And I guess maybe it's safer to just keep it in the U.S. Go to Wyoming, a state where there's not
Right.
a lot of cases set up there. That could be awesome.
Right. So another thing, Survivor's changing, man. Like, what do you think about this? Does this remind you of anything right here? What happened? To me, it's like heart-wrenching. To me, that gets to me. It gets to me because I played the game, though. But as a fan, does it seem like it's the same when you hear the music? Why did they not? I like the music. I don't think that all good things are change. Some things, yes, I understand that you have to change some things in the world of Survivor. I get it. But some things are not to be messed with. And I think the theme, the theme song like that, with everybody doing their thing as you're meeting everybody, I don't see how one person, is like, oh, change the music.
To me, I would get goosebumps every single time I heard that music. And I feel like their spin is, oh, we want to bring you extra content from the island, from the game. But to me, no, I want that. I'll waste a minute, cut out 30 seconds from a reward challenge, cut out, do one less commercial or something and give us that intro.
Yes.
That's what I want to hear. Did you see the one they finally released, the one for season 40, the day before the finale?
Yes.
That was great.
I thought that they were going to do it for the finale.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, they barely had any time. They barely had time to announce a winner. So I don't know how that would have worked. But
right.
Yeah, I missed that. I always though, my favorite moment, I don't think they played it. I mean, obviously it was different circumstances on the Zoom call, but my favorite moment is when the winner is announced and that music drops. That's the stuff you daydream about.
And the things that I want to see more of, because especially when I'm playing. If I'm playing again, I love the rewards, and I don't see how anybody is when we used to win rewards and we would eat here, we all got to camp and go wherever, and usually they would do a tribe reward where you would see the local tribe and them do certain things. I guess they can't do it if it's always Fiji. You can't watch the same performance every time. I understand that.
What about what happened to the Survivor auction?
That I was getting into that too. The Survivor auction, that was amazing. I think that they say season 30, something that happened out there ruined the Survivor auction because everybody wanted the advantage, and now everybody wants to just buy the advantage. They don't want food.
Yeah. They should.
Another thing. New school. That's why the Survivor auction is gone, because players like the new school players.
So
we can blame them for that.
So, you are a new school player in terms of idols and stuff, but I mean, obviously you never played with, fire tokens, steal a vote, legacy advantage, the 50-50 coin flip. Do you think that there are too many advantages?
The thing when it comes to that's my type of gameplay though. My gameplay is tools. Give me tools to work with. My first time I played, I was finding the tools on my own without even having them given to me, without even, finding idols. So you give me tools to work with, and I'll work with those tools to get me further in the game. And that's why I consider myself a new school player, because that's what you see new school players do. We see Parvati. She had all these tools to work with. She didn't use anything to actually keep her in the game. she had what they had together. Her and Michelle had 3 or 4 fire tokens. She had the still a vote. They could have told Nick, I tell you what, we'll give you 4 fire tokens right now. When we get back, I'll hand you a still a vote. Like, you get everything we have. We just want your loyalty. We just want you to come to us and let's run the table.
Yeah.
You can see that in her. And that shows you, man, she's an old school player.
Yeah, she's the social game, the flirt, the get people on her side, bat her eyelashes and stuff. But it's tough to have like the mix. I feel like a lot of new school players, they get too wrapped up in the advantages. Like, to me, the fire tokens this season, I think too many people thought the fire tokens were going to have a bigger impact than they did. Like, think about Denise or somebody who had like stacked 6 fire tokens, and then on the last day, just to use it on like rice. Like, to me, I would have been pissed off.
Yeah, it was nothing. I mean, I'd be pissed if I was Sandra sitting at home after she quits saying, wait a second, I was trading 2 fire tokens for my idol that I got voted out with. For what? For nothing.
Basically, the only reason you needed fire tokens was if you got sent something from the edge, which to a degree is out of your control.
Yeah, and I think that's going to change, though. I don't think that I think the fire token thing is going to evolve with the game now. You know, Jeff has to see this as not a good thing with the fire tokens. It didn't do anything for anybody. Tony said recently on an interview that if he would have known that the fire tokens was going to give Natalie that great of an advantage, he would have never even, like, I'm not get that, because if I buy these fire tokens, now what's going to happen then is it's going to give someone else a positive advantage. So now you have to think about that aspect of the game as you're buying fire tokens.
Right. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Edge of Extinction is gone, right? Like, I don't think that will last. I think fans have been vocal enough about how much they hate that.
They'll name it something else, man.
You think they'll
name it something else?
I don't know. To me, that is one new school Survivor twist that I can't get behind.
Right. Nobody likes it. I mean, a lot of people they hated the first one. The second time, they were like, it was interesting. Some of it was good.
Well, I think it let us see our favorite.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Me as a player, I want it because I want an opportunity to get back in the game. Well, so I'm being selfish.
I think it's different for returning players. Like, I think when you have returning players, like when you and Rob came back in 22, it made sense. That was the first season you guys had redemption. It made sense to have something where you get back in the game where you're going to be a target or something along those lines. But to me, I don't get like, if it's all newbie players, I don't like. I like that they did it for this season because if in case our favorites got voted out early, you get to still see them on the screen. But if it's 18, 20 people that I don't know, it's all new people in a season, I don't want someone coming back and winning like Chris Underwood.
Right. No, that's the problem. That's the problem when you have something like that. Now, what if Natalie wins the game? You've seen it. You watch what she did. At some point in that last episode, I started thinking, man, she's going to get some votes. If she gets to the end, she's going to get some votes. Because the way they were editing it, everything was looking good. She used 2 idols. You know, she won challenges that early in the game. She got Michelle to work with her. So would you have been shocked if Natalie would have won the game of Survivor this season?
I would have been shocked. Yeah. I would have been very mad, first of all. But I would have also been shocked because I remember from the pregame media, a lot of the returning players were like, yeah, we would never vote for someone who got voted out, especially voted out first. Like, I don't think they could have done it. Like, I don't think that you could have had, you know, the ultimate season everyone's been waiting for. This is season 40 Survivor, all winners. You can't have the person that was voted out first win the game. Like, that would have been the most disappointing thing to fans and stuff. And I think the players, especially this past season, who, you know, are so ingrained in the game, I think they knew well enough where it's like, we can't do this. I think there would have been like a fan revolt.
Yeah. I mean, I see how things go down with the Survivor world. Like they convinced people that season 19 Natalie deserves to win. Like they have in this
Right.
new age, you hear people actually making the argument that yes, Natalie should have won that game. Yes, she deserved it. Like that's a real thing, man.
Yeah.
So if Natalie would have won this season, Natalie Anderson, I think that eventually they would have convinced everybody, yes, she deserved it. And that was more of a deserving win than Natalie White winning season 19.
All right, we're getting mixed up. You think Natalie Anderson season 40 would have been more deserving than Natalie season 19?
Oh, 100%. If Natalie would have won Winners at War, let's say you have two people that's never seen, or somebody that's never seen Survivor in their life. You sit them down on the couch, you let them watch season 19. And then you
right.
say, okay, before the finales, before we know who won, we'll tell you. And when it's all over, instead of Jeff reading it, we'll say, okay, Natalie White wins. And then we let them watch the next one, and we say, Natalie Anderson wins Winners at War. Which one would they be more shocked about? I think they'd be more shocked about Natalie White.
Yeah, I think they'd probably be more shocked about. I mean, because if you don't know Edge of Extinction is a twist already, then I think or if you don't know that it was never a thing, if you think Edge of Extinction is just part of the game, I guess, then you wouldn't be so shocked. Especially with the edit too and so can I ask, when did you know season 19? Because I'm always fascinated, like right after like the show ends, right? So right after you're done with Final Tribal Council, Jeff says, I'm sure, whatever, thanks guys. At what point did you know that you did not win?
Dude, I was up 19. I went right back 19 days later, and I'm sitting there, and they're asking me questions, production, before we even go in the game, like pre-interview questions.
Right.
And they asked me a question about me losing. And then I was like, you saying I lost? Like, because I didn't know.
Oh,
I was like, wait, you saying I lost season 19? Because it was sort of messing with me while I was playing season 20. So, and then they said, oh, no, we're going to ask you the opposite of that too. But there wasn't. I know, you can tell when you got someone. You
right.
can tell when you just got them. And they said, oh, what if you won season 19? How do you feel about that now? And I'm like, I know I didn't win. I know I didn't win because of what you just did. So
wow,
it messed with me while I was there.
Because I was watching like Heroes vs. Villains highlights thing a few months ago or something, and I saw you have a confessional in season 20 where you reference losing season 19. Or I forget exactly what you said. I don't know if you remember, probably better than me.
That was probably it.
Yeah, you said something like about losing 19. And I was like, huh, like, so he must have known at the time. So I was wondering, like, when did he know? Like, it wasn't at like Ponderosa that night, like night 39. You don't have to.
No, because I didn't go with him. I didn't go with him in Ponderosa. They separated me completely from everybody. I never seen him again until the live show. Not one of them.
You personally, or all the finale?
No, me personally. They brought me to the side, and Jeff, Mark Burnett, the doctor, the psychiatrist, all came in my room and said, you ready to do this again? No, Mark Burnett actually says, do you think you're the best that ever played this game? And I'm like, so he knew what I was going to say. And I was like, yes, I'm the best that ever played. He said, do you want to prove it? So I'm like, let's do this. And dude, my heart dropped when I knew I was going to the same island doing the same stuff. I called which is my ex-wife now, I called my wife at the time of when we were about to they let me call her from the airport when we were about to head off to play Heroes versus Villains. And I said, I seen her. We didn't talk about the game, but I got everything. I was better right before I started playing. I was on antibiotics. I was sick as a dog from season 19. And I told my wife, by the way, we just won $1 million season 19. So that's how sure I was.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's shocking. It was shocking when I found out, and I found out the way I found out. Well, I didn't find out till later. When I got back before they aired it, I talked to Shambo for my season 19. All this time I wasn't sure. I knew, I had a feeling, but I really wasn't sure. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. then when I talked to Shambo on the phone at my mom's house, and she says, "You didn't win." I thought she was messing with me. What do you mean I didn't win? Dude, I've never had that feeling. It was disgusting. I mean, it's no joke, man. It was I fought so hard at this game, and then I didn't win. Like, my heart, man, I've never had that type of feeling in my entire life.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
So season 20, did you know season 20 that you didn't win, or was it the same thing?
Oh, I knew I didn't win when I walked off the thing. I was about to cuss out Rupert right there. I was about to, you know what? Dude, I'm serious. I was thinking in my mind, you know what I'm going to do? I'm about to stand up and say, you know what? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you.
That
and
would
walk
have
off.
been that would have been the best.
That's what I was about to do, man. But then I'm like, because they were all coming at me, man. Heroes and villains, they came at me like I was Ted Bundy. Like, they came at me like I ran over their dog on purpose.
Yeah, no, that I guess you could tell better. Yeah, no, that's always interesting to me, is because, like, I feel like a lot of time, I feel like you were a unique case after season 19 because you were isolated from everybody else. But do you think in general most people find out, like, how long do you think Tony knew that he won, or did he not?
I think he knew he won this season.
You think he knew?
I think it was out there. I think somehow it got out there, and he knew it. I know of one season that they made it get out there where Amanda thought she won over Parvati, and Parvati won, but they all thought Amanda and Parvati thought it was Amanda that won, and then it shocked them. That's why you see her looking the way she looked.
They do look shocked. Yeah, I never realized that.
Yeah, she was like, what, me, really? So I'd rather that way, man. If I'm ever on a jury, which I've never been on a jury, if I'm ever on a jury, I ain't telling nobody nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
like, why? It's too important. And with you, man, why don't you play? You have the opportunity. You have the people in the right place to actually get someone to listen to you.
Russell, I've been trying for 5 years to get on. Trust me, nobody wants to play more than me. I sent in a couple auditions tapes in college before I worked for Barstool. Never heard any response. This past couple years, we have a couple like loose connects to like different people at CBS. So I was hitting them up. I applied normally through the website.
Man,
yeah, they just have
shocking to me because you have what it takes. You have the personality. You have what it takes, even if it's a dull personality. You have that style that they're looking for. You know, I just don't. Your confessionals would be brilliant. You're starving. You're starving. You miss your family. You pissed off, and your confessionals would be like no other. If anybody doesn't know what Smokes is, check them out on Barstool. Just check it out on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like Cody said on my last live, your TikToks are underrated.
My TikToks, thank you. Yeah, I've tried. Look, I tell them, I'm like, look, I have like on camera experience or whatever. So, you know, like I'm not gonna get stage fright or whatever talking to a camera. And also, like, Barstool's audience is so big and so like young, like that elusive like 18 to 34-year-old demo, who I feel like Survivor has probably lost through the years. Like, that's all what Stoolies are. That's what Barstool fans are. I'm not saying me alone is gonna get, but like I feel like a lot of Barstool fans who haven't watched Survivor in 10, 15 years would be more likely to tune in if I was playing.
You're right.
I think I could win.
You're right. I think you'd have a strong shot. And I don't say that to many people, but you have the personality that could win the Survivor. You have what it takes.
I'm gonna clip this and like make it. I'm gonna get this everywhere. Russell Hand saying I have the ability.
Get it everywhere, man. Get it, because I think, and I'm like, why is this guy ain't played Survivor? I was thinking that the other day. While I'm watching the clips and while I'm watching the scenes that you guys got for Barstool on YouTube, I'm thinking there's a lot of people, by the way, in your office that could play. They could be entertaining when it comes to excluding the Call You Daddy girls, because they couldn't play.
No, they'd quit after a few days.
They wouldn't even lasted 24 hours. I would tell Dave, Put some odds out there, and I would put 10 grand right now on that they wouldn't last 24 hours. Neither of them.
Definitely not. They wouldn't even try it. Dave himself is a big fan of Survivor. He says though he doesn't think he has the mind for Survivor, but he says when he doesn't get a proper night's sleep, he just can't function himself. So he's like, I don't know if I could.
I could see him playing though. Do you think he would?
Do I think what?
If he decided to play, would he quit? Would Dave quit if he just actually decided to play?
No, he would never quit. He would never. He has way too much pride to quit. I think he would do well. I mean, he definitely can. It'd be interesting to see how many people would know him and like how they react to that. But I think he definitely has like obviously the genius brain to do it. But like he says, he's like, I just can't handle not having sleep. Which I honestly would also probably. I don't like.
I don't think you have a lot of people that's rich. They're talking about Tyler Perry playing. They're talking about Jimmy Fallon playing. People like that. I don't think the money aspect would be in his mind at all. He would be a competitor, trying to compete, trying to win the game, the Soul Survivor title. You know, $1 million. He won that day trading. I mean, who wins?
$1 million. You said he could win and lose a day trading. And I feel like, to me, I'm a lot less rich than Dave, but I would agree. Like, I would sign up. No, this isn't how it works, but I would rather win the game I'd rather win the game and get nothing than, come in ninth and win $1 million.
Right. Yeah.
Like, to me, that's just like what I've always dreamed about. Like, some kids, they daydream about being a baseball player. They daydream about being a rock star. I daydream about like that day 39 breakfast on Survivor and having Jeff say that it's
going to happen, man. I think it's going to happen. I think you're going to play Survivor.
I'm going to try. Hey,
I can't see it not happening.
If you have connects, like
I do. Get a tape together, get something together, and send it to me.
I will.
Because it's crazy. Because I'll get it straight to the top. CBS. I'll get it. CBS may make some decisions, but they don't make the ultimate decisions when it comes to watching the tapes and who they actually bring to CBS. You give me a 3-minute tape, man.
Do you think
it's crazy that you're not that you haven't played yet?
I feel like they don't do casting until like the fall or something, right?
They supposed to have season 41 locked down, but since all this happened, man, everything is up in the wind now. Everything could change now.
So you think I should make a tape?
I'm sorry for the ones that you should make a tape.
All right, I made one a month ago, but I'll make a new one.
Do your personality that you have on Barstool when you're doing your skits and things like that. Be that person.
Okay.
Be that person. When you do your little what'd you do the other day? You calling everybody. You were April fooling everybody.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I should have called me, man.
The island.
So, yeah, man. So, you guys, if y'all want to check out the new shirts, the new school shirts, the survivors are actually, I sent some. Tony's about to be sporting one. Sierra, Kelly, Wentworth, Adam, old schoolers. That's where it's at, baby. So, check that out. So, yeah, man. So, did they ever give you a makeover, man?
No,
call your daddy girls. Call her daddy. Call her daddy. Yeah.
I'm making another so my original Call a Mommy mock video that I made of them. I was at the office yesterday. I recorded a new one. That'll probably come out later this week, Friday. I'll put it on Barstool and all my accounts. I don't think
Call Me Mama.
Happening.
What's the name of it?
Call Him Mommy.
Oh, call him. You the call him mommy guy now? You needed a partner?
Yeah.
You can call me mommy.
I played all four. I played both of them.
Hell yes. That's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better. Yeah, so that's a little crazy what's going on there. Life is something, man. Life will kick you in the butt. And sometimes you cannot be greedy in life. You just can't. Because it will get you. And that's kind of a situation you have going over there. But so yeah, man. So Survivor season 50. Do you think they're gonna make it to season 50?
I think in my dream world that I've been thinking about lately is I've been trying to imagine a season 50 of like all legends, and maybe they call it quits after that. I think they could last. I mean, to me, I think season 40 definitely reinvigorated a lot of people's interest in the show. And I mean, the ratings are steady, right? Like they don't really lose numbers. I feel like it's
they're steady.
Yeah, consistent. They do well in their time slot. It's not obviously a high cost of production. I mean, you got to pay Jeff, you got to pay $1 million to the winner, but it's not like you have like a star-studded cast. I don't know why they can't keep it going forever.
Well, I think, and you go ahead and mark this down on your calendar. You guys that's watching, don't tell nobody, but you can mark it down too. I think that the Legend season will be before season 45.
Really?
Yes. I don't think they'll wait till 50. That's just too long. I mean, everybody be out there in canes, man. You know, walking around like, hey, Sonny.
You don't think that's too quick, though? From Winners at War? Like, I
don't think so. Not after what happened with all this crap, man. They trying to. If they skip I don't know how they can do that. How they can have the season, not miss any time, not miss a beat. I don't see that happening. And what is this 16-year-old stuff? Jeff would literally said, now people were like, oh no, he's just asking 16-year-olds to apply. No, he said 16 to 18, we need new blood. If you want to play Survivor, make a video. 16 to 18. We need a teenager season, he said.
That surprised me. I took it the same way. Like, I thought it was okay, apply at 16, maybe be cast by 18, but I don't think you can have a 16-year-old, playing Survivor against like 40-year-olds.
Right.
I don't know how
you can't.
I feel like that's also kind of illegal.
On top of it, so the same person keep telling me over and over, I get it. Trust me, I'm working on it. I already ordered what I needed to order. So relax. Listen to what you got to listen to. So yeah, 16 minutes, especially what happened to season 39. You can't have a 16-year-old girl, a cute little 16-year-old girl out there, and some 18-year-old grabs her in an inappropriate place. I mean, then it's over. Then now CBS doesn't have to worry anymore because Survivor's just over.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see any good.
Don't do it.
I don't see any good.
And it's jumping the shark.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I think that Survivor. I mean, to me, it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You get 18 to 20 new people. You get a few advantages in the game. You have them play every few seasons, every 5-10 seasons. You get the old school people back for a new one. That to me is the blueprint for Survivor. But now I'm a little upset to hear you say that you think it's going to be done. Because in my head, the Legend season will be season 50, and I want to be on that season.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be on season 43. I win season 43. Maybe I come back for like a fans versus favorites season 46. Maybe I come in like 7th that time. And then season 50, I come back for all Legends. We can have an alliance, a pregame alliance right now, and we'll run the show.
We can't do it on the radio, man. People would be all over it. They know. They listen. You have survivors out there taking notes as they're watching the show. Oh, he's friends with so-and-so. He said on the Russell Hantz show the other day that he's friends with Laura. You know, which is not true, but it's like, so they're going to be an alliance. It's like the poker alliance thing. Kim was like, I don't barely know these people.
Yeah.
Like, would you like, I'm all of a sudden in the poker alliance. You'll put it in their heads. Like I heard, and I say this on the podcast, I heard Johnny Fairplay say on his show that under any circumstances, he would never, ever stab Lex in the back. So do you not think there'd be people talking about that?
Right.
So now we know he'll never stab Lex in the back if they're together. Just saying. Gotta watch what you say.
That would be to get a season of a lot of like old, like, you know, people, but you're like season 20 and before. I mean, names that people haven't heard of. And I'm going to try tomorrow. I think I'm going to write a blog of what my dream Legends cast would be. 10 guys, 10 girls. I
Do it,
think
man. Do it.
I'm trying to think of who would be just from like the best entertainment standpoint. I think that season, like to me, this season was great, but they had some weak spots, right? Like you had some winners from recent seasons.
Super weak spots, yes.
Yeah, they weren't the best personalities. They only played once. They weren't the most legendary status. But if you got 20 people where legitimately every single one is a legend and every single person people are going to be excited to watch, that season could be ridiculous.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. So, you're gonna have to give me a show, man. Call you mommy.
Yeah, I mean, episode 2 is recorded, but if we do, we waited 9 months between episode 1 and episode 2. So if we do episode 3 in like next February, I that might be when
now,
we shoot.
I can get into different subjects. I do have my little listeners here, but if I needed to talk about other subjects, I can go with the Coffee Daddy for sure. If they had me pull out my thing, they can have thing coming because I know what they do in that office. We're gonna have a little fucking script that they read is gonna all be a paper in the wind because it's all gonna change it.
You could be the new MILF Hunter. You could be the new guy behind the scenes.
Because I'll be like, okay, I pulled out mine. Now you pull out yours. Let's do this.
Yeah, well, I don't know how well that would go.
I'm just saying, you can't. I mean, you have if they can equal me to death in their little podcast room. If I did it and they started asking me to do stuff like that, hey, I'm gonna equal you too. Let's do this.
Yeah,
we'll just all get naked.
Double-sided.
Yeah, no, you can't. I'm not a double-sided type of guy. It's all the same to me. You want equal, I give you equal, but we're still going to have to be the same. So, but that's another topic. But I can get into that type of topic if I did a podcast with somebody, and when I did a show on AE, and she was so rude to me, man. She started being rude, started saying, "Oh, you getting a divorce? I wonder why." So, man, I let her have it. I mean, I was like, super mean, like I just went off on her own show. Finally, she was like, we need to stop this conversation. I'm like, yeah, because that little paper you're reading ain't working for you anymore.
Yeah,
because I just got you off your topic.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, I can easily see you playing the game of Survivor. You have to play.
Try. I'll make a new video.
I'd be your biggest fan, man.
I would, a lot of people, whenever I say, they're like, oh, you'd be voted out first, yada, yada, yada. But I wouldn't.
No way.
A lot of super fans, they play too hard. I wouldn't play too hard out of the gate. I would make sure, I think pre-merge, you lay low. Just make sure people get on your side, make some friends, don't make any enemies. And then after that, you hit the merge. That's when you take control.
Yeah.
The only thing is.
And the game's changed.
Yeah.
Would you play more like, if you were going to play, of course you have to play new schooler with all the stuff you get, but do you think that your style would be more new school or old school?
I think it would be a mix. I think early on in the game, like I'm definitely not going to be hunting for idols right away. Like early on in the game, I'm not going to do anything that's going to put a target on my back. I think that early on in the game, I would try to just lay low, get people on my side, get people to generally like me, and then I would be new school in the sense that I would have absolutely no problem backstabbing someone like at any point in the game. I don't care what I told them, what I swore on, or anything like that. To me, I'm there to win $1 million. I'm not there to make friends. So I don't know if I would be. I'm not maybe going to be the most advantage-driven player, but I definitely would have no problem like doing blindsides and stuff like that and lying.
What if somebody recognizes you? I say you go in disguise. I say you have to go in disguise.
So
like maybe the goatee.
To me, I think that I don't know how recognized I would be, but even if a few people recognize me, I don't think I'd be a target. It's not like I'm like a rich, old celebrity like Jimmy Johnson or something where you're going to be. I think if anything, maybe it'll be like, oh, Tommy, he's on Survivor, he's on Barstool, but I don't think that would make me a target right off the bat. I don't think so either. Hopefully, unless they hate me. I mean, I don't see how they would, even if they recognize it, like, oh, yeah, that's what I do. I
do
Right.
shows and edit for Barstool. I mean, no big deal.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's what he does.
Yeah, it's
He can
not
pull
going
it
to
off.
like I'm richer than
I
anybody
think
else.
it would help more than hurt, especially having a Stoolie out there.
Yeah, definitely. If you get someone that's a fan, that's like an instant ally. And I'll have no problem cutting their throat.
Yeah, so send me your number, man. And I do have a list, by the way. Can't say it on air. I'm not going to say it. I know everybody's going to be pissed. But when you do I want you to do your thing first, what you think the legend is.
Right.
And I have a pretty legit list that is official.
Official.
If that means anything. Official as in not like Jeff Probst official.
Right.
More like Russell Hantz official.
Okay. Is Russell Hantz on that Russell Hantz official list, I assume?
I am. I'm on the list.
Just making sure.
I'm on my official list. But the thing is, man, if they do a legend season, name a few people. I just want to think I want to see how you're thinking.
Off the bat, so to me, legend season, I'm thinking of the most like influential people of like when you think Survivor, you think this person, sort of. It's sort of how in my head I'm envisioning it. So I was thinking you, Richard Hatch, I'd love to see back. I mean, he's the first winner. Boston Rob, I know he said he's never playing again.
Not happening.
But
it's just not happening only because he's not going to play again.
Right. But this is more.
Other than that, yes.
Tony at this point, assuming he'd play again.
Nope.
You don't think he's playing again?
They're going to play again. I did hear that was official. Now, I know, just like you know in production, that things come and go. You may say things one day, and then you may change your mind the next. Like,
right.
Even day, next day. That happens. But I heard officially that every single person, they said, from the exception of Natalie, is never going to play the Survivor again.
Every person that was on this season?
Everybody. I don't know why they said exceptionally and exception of Natalie, but
so you're saying
that's
like
what was said.
In Adam,
now, that could change.
And Adam or a Nick are saying they won't play again. I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what they said, and this come from production. That's what this was said. But again, I would take it with a grain of salt because I can easily see Michelle playing again. I can see Adam playing again. Tony for sure. Legend season, Tony has to be there.
Right. So
you would think I can see Rob not playing, and Sandra. But, I don't see her playing. I don't see Parvati playing.
So if they do it in like a season 43 or 44, I can see all those people not playing. But in my head, if this is 5 years from now, if this is season 50, and if they tell all these people, they tell Tony, they tell Rob, they tell Parvati, they tell Sandra, this is the last season ever. We're going out with a bang. 10 legends.
Right. You're right. Then they all play. Yeah.
I can't see them turning it down.
Yeah, so then they all play. You're right. If it's season 50 and everybody, so yeah, all that is, they say a lot of things that doesn't happen. It's just talk.
Right.
And I can see them actually saying that statement because they're like, nobody here is ever playing again. Yeah, I get it. But 5 years down the road, you're telling me that you're not going to put Adam back out there, or Tony back out there? Come on.
Right. Like, I'm sure Boston Rob, after season 22, probably said that he'd never play again. I'm sure he said he won. There's nothing left for me to do. And he came back. So I think everybody can be. Well,
actually, he told, Probst asked Sandra and Rob at the same time while they were on the island doing that stupid thing that they did.
Yeah.
And Sandra said yes, right there in Jeff's face. And Rob said no. That's why that she was pissed off at him, because he said no right there in front of her. So she thought he wasn't playing. So when she seen him out on the island, she was so pissed, she got rid of Amber.
Yeah. I remember seeing that in pregame. To me, that's like, I don't know why Rob wouldn't just tell her. Like, that seems like a bad pregame play by Rob.
Bad. You're right.
You don't
go out there for surprise. It's like going on a date with someone and they tell you that they're, they tell you that they're this, and then you go on a date and pick them up and they're that.
Right.
It's like, what? Why did you do that to me?
Yeah.
Now I'm mad. Now I'm pissed because you're not what you said you were.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake, and that probably cost Amber her game.
It did.
Greg.
So give me some females.
So if Sandra
Besides Parvati, because she ain't playing again.
If they would come back, I said Sandra Parvati, but if they're not coming back, I mean Amanda Kimmel, right? I think would be good to have back. I think. What about like a throwback Stephanie? From she played a few seasons, right?
Stephanie, yeah, yes, yep. Who else?
Well, we're not saying anyone from season 40, right?
I mean, I guess it could be. What do you think about Courtney playing again as a legend?
I could see that. I mean, she's more of like the personality than the player, but I could see that. I could see that happening.
Sierra, Sari, Coach Wentworth.
Yeah.
These are people that people are saying down here, but no, James, definitely.
You think James would come back?
Oh, James has to get called back. He has to.
I would love James. What are they going to call survivors ever?
James was a two-time. People don't understand how popular James really was. He was a two-time fan favorite. He was hugely popular, the grave digger, and I think he's a legend.
I agree. He's got the move, the infamous bad move, but I'm not playing the idols. Like great physical play. Ozzy would be someone that you'd probably see back.
Ozzy, yes. Shambo, actually, I talked to her yesterday, guys. Shambo is done with Survivor. I asked her to come on the show. She's like, no way. I don't want to give Survivor any credit. And I'm like, it's my show, Shambo. You ain't giving Survivor credit. It helps me. She's like, I ain't doing it. She's pissed off because Survivor, she had to get like $20,000 in medical bills and Survivor didn't pay. So she got pissed off. She's got asked several times to play the game again, and she says no. Jeff himself has called her. She says no.
Huh. Yeah, I could see her not wanting to do it again. I feel like you could still get 10 other. It's tough if none of these girls from season 40 are playing. That sucks. I feel like that. What about would Jenna come back?
Jenna
Marasco?
Jenna Lewis. I think they would ask Jenna Lewis before Jenna Marasco because she was the second. She played an All-Star. She probably would have won All-Star if she gets brought to the end.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm trying to think who else from early.
I don't know if Kim would be considered a legend. Do you consider Kim a legend?
Kim Spradlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you consider her a legend?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think she played the most dominating female game of all time.
She did.
In one world.
She did.
And I don't think she had the best performance this season, but I think just the one world performance alone should put her in the mix at least.
JT would not play again.
JT.
So what happened with JT? I'll just tell you since it's just me and you talking. What happened with JT is after he played on Game Changers, he was at Ponderosa and he got a little crazy. I got a little crazy. I got crazy. I'm not going to say that I didn't do almost the exact same thing, but I did with alcohol. He wanted to party. He partied and he got in a little trouble. Huh. And CBS had to literally bail him out of trouble, literally. And I heard it was a bad problem. And we do crazy things in life. I get it. But JT will never play the game again. Like if you screw over CBS like that, you're done.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you got to take him. What about to me?
I'll tell you more of the story when I go on Call Your Mama.
To me, somebody like Cochran might not play again, but he would be someone that Cochran is like the quintessential nerdy super fan that won the game. So he's somebody that I think I would like to see back in that season.
Yeah, Cochran would definitely get asked. He got asked for this season and he said no. Jeff
Yeah.
even said the one person I wanted out here. Who do you take away from if you bring Cochran? Who do you take away? Because Earl and Cochran both said no. That's two people. I think you take Nick and Adam.
I would take Ben away, but I would take Ben away first.
Ben, maybe so.
Ben, yeah, Ben.
Nick and Ben.
I'd say Ben and
Or
Adam. I mean, I would have said coming into this season, I would have said Ben and Adam. But now knowing all the unintentional comedy that like Adam provided us this season, I'd maybe take Ben and Nick out instead.
Yeah, for sure. I would say I would have said Adam too before the season, but now it's like no, we wanted that. Andrea, for sure.
Oh yeah,
she's getting called.
Forgot about her. Yeah, she'd be a great one for sure. I'm trying to think of other. Who else from like?
I don't think.
What was Heroes versus Villains? Do you think
Fair Play? Do you think he would play again?
Who?
I think Fair Play would play again, but do you think they would ask him again? Because a lot of people say that he quit the season, which it's a long story that goes with it, but they say he quit. Do you think they would ask Fair Play to play?
I feel like you would know that better than me. You know more of the insides.
Yeah.
I would think that they would.
I think they would.
I would think they'd put it behind him maybe and be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have him back. Because I don't think whatever happened last time, I don't think it would happen again.
Right.
And
Jerry, she's there.
Yeah, he still has one of the most iconic lies in Survivor history. Like, you can't do Survivor Legends without Johnny Fair Play.
No. It's one of the, I'm doing a top 100 survivors. Big deal. Doing a big deal with it. I have like 30 survivors that's coming in, talking about other survivors. So we're clipping that in. So it's a good production that we have going on now. And for my trailer for that, right off the bat, I put Fair Play talking about how his grandmother died and he's crying right there, acting like he's crying. And that moment, maybe one of the biggest iconic moments heard around the world. You know, him saying that his grandmother died, which is, to me nowadays, it's like, okay, so what? So what? It's a so what move now. But back then, it was like, oh, wow, can't believe he just did that.
That, I think, to the person who doesn't watch Survivor, but like maybe someone who just vaguely knows Survivor, I think that lie is something they definitely know.
Right. When you think of Survivor, Mount Rushmore of Survivor, who is it?
Well, I think, if we're doing two men, I mean, you got to put Tony and Sandra on there as the only two-time winners. Even if I'm not the biggest Sandra supporter, I just think the two wins, and then Parvati, and then, I mean, I think the most popular answer would be Boston Rob. Some people would say, he's too many times. But I think in terms of
what about Richard Hatch?
Richard Hatch, yeah. I mean, it sucks that he hasn't played in so long, I think hurts his cases. But he is like, that is it. I wonder who do you think right now, like to somebody that doesn't watch Survivor, but who knows of it, do you think they'd be more likely to know Richard Hatch or Boston Rob?
That's a good question. If we were going to take a poll and just walk around the mall and say who's this, I think it would be Richard Hatch. Because he'd be like, but they wouldn't say, you'd have to say the naked gay guy. Then they'd be like, oh, okay.
But I still think the name, like people, like so many people watch season 1 where the name Richard Hatch is ingrained in people's minds as the season 1 winner.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying Hatch and Rob. So it's right here. We have it about equal with the listeners. Some are saying Rob, some are saying Hatch. But saying Hatch, by the way, over Rob, me even saying that is pretty legendary. You know, because it's been so long since he's played, but he is an icon to the game of Survivor. You can't take that away, ever.
No, you don't think he'll ever play?
I think he wants to play, but if you've been watching some of his YouTube stuff, he's burning them, man. He's burning them
because of the Dan thing, right? In season 39.
Well, season 39 to me, was the reason they did season 40. They called me. I was playing. Season 40, I was playing.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, I was leaving. Well, a week. I was a week out.
Oh, shit.
And then, it all changed.
What was season 40 going to be?
That's the question. That's the big famous question. What was it going to be?
You don't even know.
Yeah. No, I don't know, but I know a list that I'm going to send you.
Gotcha.
so
some all-stars type season.
It had to be some big all-star season. The list is legendary. There's one person on the list of 20 that I would be like, why? One. Now, when we watched, what was it, Game Changers, half the cast was like, why are they Game Changers? Why?
That Game Changers is my biggest disappointment of a season ever. When you think about how good, I was actually just re-looking at the cast the other day. When you think about how good it could have been, like I forgot Ozzy was even on that season. You had like Ozzy, Malcolm, Tony, JT, like you have all those people, and then you got them mixed in with like Sierra, like Dawn Thomas and Troyzan. Like to me, that was every good player got out early, and Sarah played an incredible game, but that was such a disappointment.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I might share that list with my Patreons. I have a Patreon page, man, and we are going. I need to invite you. We're going on a cruise in April with my Patreon. We already have 20 rooms booked for the cruise. Carnival has to give me something for that. Next year it'll be the first annual Patreon vacation where I have 4 survivors coming. We're gonna party down, include me, and we're just gonna have a good time. You need to check that out. You need to come have.
Yeah.
Tell Dave he's welcome too.
Unless I'm on Survivor at that point, then I might not be able to make it.
You have to get me in a pizza review. That is a dream of mine ever since I've been watching it. It's epic. I think it'll be a good thing. I got to review that pizza, man. And by the way, when I'm watching it, some of the pizza looks amazing. I'm from Louisiana. I don't eat pizza. I don't go to New York and eat pizza. I don't go to Italy and eat pizza. I just don't do it. So I know pizza to me is Little Caesars. Okay, that's Pizza Hut. That's all I know. So if I eat a pizza, I was thinking somebody was eating a pizza when I was watching a show, and they said 10, and he's like 10. He said it's the best pizza you ever had. You telling me that's the best pizza you ever had in your life? Now for me, it may be. If my only pizza I've ever eaten is from Little Caesars, then I may give the first thing a 10. If it's the best pizza I've ever eaten, I have to give it.
You ever had a New York slice of pizza?
Never.
Wow, you're missing out.
I have, and that would be good for the show too. The only thing I've had is Pizza Hut and Little Caesars. That's it.
Wow.
I don't know what it tastes like. Like everybody, I see these pizzas, I'm like, it's thin. I've never eaten a thin pizza like that.
You've never had
a thin pizza to me is fat. Never enjoyed real pizza.
You got
So if I eat it and I'm like my mind is blown, and I say it's a 10,
that
you can't be like, it could happen. That could happen.
I could see that. Hopefully one day pizzerias will be open in New York again, and you can try.
Yes, I might fly up there just to do something like that and eat a pizza. People say Chicago, but I see Chicago's pizza. It looks like it's a fat thing full of sauce.
Yeah, I like deep dish pizza personally, but I mean New York. I like New York better. As a New Yorker, I'm obviously going to side with New York, but I think it's good.
Yeah, so tell Dave the only pizza I've ever eaten is that, and he may be like, we have to do something. This is a sin. It is a tragedy that this man has never eaten a real pizza. And I've seen him do Little Caesars. He gave it a 4 or something like that. I'm like, that's good pizza to me.
Yeah,
I give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. I know you're a busy guy. Have you been going to the office lately at Barstool, or y'all open and back in business?
Now we're closed. I had to go yesterday to shoot that Call Mommy video, but that's the first time I'd been in the office in 2.5 months. And we're
And when's the last time you got a haircut?
about 2.5 months. Can't
can
go.
tell.
It's starting to get a little out of hand. But I got no choice. My barbershop's closed. Everything's closed.
I hear you.
But yeah,
how about just shave it all, man?
Yeah, maybe I'll go bald. But yeah, New York shut down until I think June 13th or 14th. So we're at least waiting until then.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. How are things?
All right, well,
back up?
Yeah, that's crazy. What's that?
Said things are opening back up by you?
Yeah, we got movie theaters opening back up. I just went to the gym, and I was trying to get a membership, but they didn't let me get a membership. They're like, we're only allowing 25%, and we're not taking any new members, but come back in 2 weeks, and we'll be fully open. I mean, they're doing the little, it's weird. I sat there watching it, and they're doing the little, they're shooting that thing on their forehead and seeing what their temperature is.
Oh, yeah.
That's just weird to see. It's weird to watch.
It's like a movie.
It's like a sci-fi type movie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, you have to have that chip in your head before you can come in here.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm not all for that.
Yeah, we got
yeah, man. So
open here, but one day.
Yeah, man. So remember me when you're big time, man. Remember me when you're big time on Call Her Mommy.
We'll be on together.
Yeah, I need to do the Call Her Mommy show. I think that's gonna explode. You're gonna be big time. and then you remember me because I want to come on there and do something with you guys. I'll be in New York. But I appreciate you coming on the show, man. If you guys need to check out the merch, I got the new Schooler Survivor, a parody, of course, to the old school shirts. Everybody's like, you should do your own thing, man. You shouldn't copy. It's a parody of what they're doing with the old school shirts, guys. It's to prove a point. Most people get that. Right. I hope you do. Go to the YouTube page, check the new school shirts out. They got tons of different shirts, like 50 different styles. Check that out. If you want to be a Patreon, you want to be part of the cruise that we have coming in April, join the Patreon group. Got a lot of extra content there. And we appreciate you guys watching. Other than that, comment below. Tell me who you think are the females. That's the interesting thing when it comes to legends. The females are harder to choose from for some reason, but they are. Let me know who you think the top 5 females to ever play the game besides Parvati, because I don't think she's playing the game, and Sandra. I really don't think those two are playing the game again. I don't.
Then I think Sarah's got to be up there. Like, she'd probably make the top 10.
Sarah may now be. Yes,
yeah,
for sure. She's probably in the top 5 now, to tell you the truth.
Probably.
Even though she's so super boring and like the same expression on her face, she's a good player.
Oh, Wentworth. We forgot about Wentworth.
But her last her last time she played, she didn't do that well, but still, she could be a legend.
She was back. Oh yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cass. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. Send me your number. I'll text you, and I'll show you that private list that only the Patreons are going to get to see. That the people that was about to play. So you want to join the Patreon group? Check it out. All right, guys. Keep hope alive. Got it in this thing.